There we go, I got light. October 1st. Oh my goodness, this year has gone fast and slow, and it's good to be here. It's good to be alive. Today we're talking about being stuck in the middle. Let me give my little speech of who I am and what I do. My name is Kiannaa Sadge, and I guide people to peace. And I do that through a process called energy psychology. That is an alignment in the middle of your heart, in your body, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. And because we're always running patterns, right? So if we don't understand our patterns, hey, Peter, good to see you here. If we don't understand our patterns, well, then they are very difficult to change. If we don't understand that our thought process don't dictate our experience, then we struggle, right? So that's why I do what I do, is to help people get out of the struggle. Now, the last few sessions that I've been on here, I have helped people to, I've kind of done like a quasi session with people, and it's been kind of fun for me. It's made these more enjoyable. Hey, Daniel, good to see you here. Or is that Donald? I don't have it's Daniel. Daniel, Peter, Sean, Sam, good to see you. Today, we are going to talk about being stuck in the middle. But before we do, yesterday was the perfect, when we were talking about resistance, it was the perfect time to introduce the law of structure, which I'm going to be talking about in every single video this week, because I want you all to get familiar with the natural laws. Hey, Wendy, good to see you. So today we're talking about the law of structure. So everything has a structure in our energy field, and it has, the law of structure begins in the pre-manifest, and it's a part of the receivers and transmitters. So it governs all of matter. So every aspect of our patterns will have an instruction set that comes from this structure. So it seems kind of technical because it is a little technical, but it helps you understand that every geometrical pattern in your energy field carries with it a resonance and a frequency that is consistent with that vibration. So if you want to level up, well, you got to level up your frequency. You got to create the structures that will allow you to level up. Okay. So today we're talking about being stuck in the middle, and you may or may not like what I have to say, but you know me, I'm just going to tell you how it is. So I wanted to tell you 3 things. If you are stuck in the middle, what is actually happening energetically? Number 1 is you're misaligned with the truth within yourself. So you are acquiescing or going along with or going into agreement with being stuck in the middle. This is creating a weakness. This weakness is a vulnerability to your structures. It will allow you to be infiltrated, okay? Infiltrated, controlled, manipulated, whatever word you want to use, right? Neither of them are fun. So being stuck in the middle, it's not fun. No matter how you decide to look at it, it doesn't help you build your inner world of integrity and alignment. So we want to have awareness of that. Number 2, it's showing, if you're stuck in the middle, it's showing a lack of courage to align with your heart, to align with your own truth. Yeah, that hurts. Ouch. So when you are stuck in the middle, you're going to want to look at, what is it that you're not saying? Why aren't you saying it? And is not saying it strengthening you or weakening you? Because a lot of us get weakened by holding in, also known as suppression and oppression, our feelings. And we think, oh, it's not worth it saying to them. And it might not be worth it, say it to them, but it is worth it for you to be in your truth. So I'm always been the type that has aligned with my inner truth over what was popular or appropriate. I'm okay with going against the grain. It's part of my nature. If it means I'm going to be coming from a place of integrity, I'm willing to do it. And then this is the third one I wanted to say is what happens when you're stuck in the middle is you lose your access to choice and freedom because your voice is being, usurped, stolen, suppressed, oppressed, whatever word, to controllers. So you want to really look at that. Who's got the control? Because a lot of people who are stuck in the middle, they think that they're stuck in the middle because they're trying to control and make everybody happy. And that's a misperception, okay? Because when you're stuck in the middle, you're not seeing all the dynamics play out. Somebody is being used. And it's usually the one that feels stuck in the middle that's being used by a controller. Who's got the authority in the relationship? If it's a mother, daughter, or son, it's always going to be usually the mother who's pulling the strings of the control. If it's a father, daughter, sister, it's going to be usually the adult who's pulling the strings. So you want to look at controlling aspects in the stuck in the middle. So I just want to say thank you so much for Peter for helping in the mods and moderating these chats, because it makes this so much easier for me and more enjoyable. And I just want to say that you and Oliver and the sniper who take time to moderate here and see all the ridiculousness, parasitic energy that comes through on these chats, I just want to say you are helping me help others. And this is how unity consciousness works, is that we all support one another and we all are in this together. We all heal each other. And I just want to say thank you so much for the mods doing that in the chat, because it's so helpful. Good morning, Daniel. Good afternoon, Wendy. Good to see you. Jimmy. Okay. Thank you for being here. Okay. Is there any proof of what? And divergence from what? Daniel, can you please clarify? Can I say it? Daniel is asking, can you please clarify what being stuck in the middle means? Is it like being in a rut? Or is it something that just seems to go wrong? Daniel, being stuck in the middle for the context of this topic is really about people feeling like they have to choose sides, or that they need to coax another side to come and be with this aspect over here, or maybe stuck in the middle with family, stuck in the middle at work, like things that you can't really tell your boss, but you really think your boss needs to know, and you feel kind of stuck in the middle between maybe somebody else. It could be a lot of things, but it's basically stuck between feeling stuck in a situation, and the situation is being stuck, which means that you have lost your power, lost your voice, lost your influence on the situation, because the feeling of being stuck is causing you to create a weakness within your energetic field. Does that make sense? Is that helpful, Daniel? But being stuck in a rut is a good topic. So I'm just going to write that one down. Stuck in the middle or stuck in a rut, because those are different and they're different experiences. All that's happening in both is that both are repeating patterns repeatedly. So patterns loop. And if we don't change and really ignite ourselves out of it, we will continue to loop. WD is saying, is telling us all that we should be in fear that we might not get the things that we need. I don't think that is appropriate here. Okay, y'all, don't need to go back and forth on the chat using craziness. Spark plug. I remember trying this in high school, trying appealing to everyone. Oh, is that what I'm doing? It sounds like you're still doing that, spark plug. But it just tears you apart because not two people have the same requirements and you can't please everyone. You shouldn't even try to please anybody. I actually just had this conversation with a client today about they wanted to make other people happy. Happiness is an inside job, okay? You can't make other people happy. You can maybe influence them. You can maybe influence them, but you can't make them happy because happiness is literally a choice. It's a conscious choice to choose to be happy and to choose to be in alignment. Honestly, it's that simple. So you can't make people feel a particular way. You can influence it, but they really have to resonate with feeling happiness. They have to resonate with feeling joy. They have to resonate with whatever it is that you're doing. And a lot of times when you're stuck in the middle, you get depleted, right? I think that's what you're saying. You get depleted when you're trying to please other people because people can't be pleased, right? They have to want to be aligned to being pleased or happy or joyful. And what we notice is that there are some people, there's literally nothing you can do to make them feel a particular way. But you can come from the heart, and when you're honest, and that could open people up. But when you're aligned, that changes how people feel. That much I absolutely know as a truth. That's why it's so important to become aligned, because as we become aligned, we influence the collective consciousness in ways that we can't see or feel, but trust and believe that we are influencing it, because every single one of us influences collective consciousness. Every single one of us, without fail. Now, so many people don't know how that's done because so many people don't understand energy. Why don't we understand energy? That's the question people should be asking. Why don't I understand how my physical body, my mental body, my emotional body, my spiritual body work? Why doesn't anybody talk about this? Why aren't we taught this? Because when you are embodied with your organic tools and your organic blueprints are ignited, you are powerful. And there are energies that want people to think that they're weak and hopeless. Okay, all right. How to improve focus. That's not really the topic today, but if you're stuck in the middle and you want to improve your focus, you want to connect to your heart always. Your heart will help you improve your mind, your mental capacities. People who have trouble with focus will also have a lack of mental discipline. And please do not ascribe to some ridiculous diagnosis of dyslexia, ADHD, hyperactive, blah, 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 blah. You are the one who is in control of you. And if you're not, you want to get in command of your own energies. I feel like I'm really shouting. I'm sorry. Where do I connect? At Kiannaa.com. Kiannaa. Wendy, if you're stuck in the middle, say more about why that is in your field. Does it mean that there's a situation that has presented, or does it require a deeper dive? Being stuck in the middle is going to be based on your perception. This actually came from yesterday's live when Mel mentioned that she felt stuck in the middle. And I thought, oh, that's a good topic. I wanted to talk about triangulation, but I was told that people wouldn't really understand what that is. But being stuck in the middle is the same as triangulation. And there's usually an authority or a power over the person who is feeling stuck in the middle. So why is it in your field? Because you haven't commanded a choice. You've lost your voice, or you have allowed it to be usurped by other people who maybe have the power or control in the situation. But the lack of courage to align with your truth is what perpetuates it. So if you have an awareness that you're feeling stuck in the middle, because it's really an expression, right? And a lot of children who go through the divorce feel stuck in the middle between parents. And that perpetuates up into adulthood, where they have to split where they're staying, or this or that, or they have to side with one faction of the family over another. It's only an abuse of power. There's no other way to look at it. When children are stuck in the middle, it's an abuse of power, period. Now, do most kids want to see their parents abusing power? No. Does it happen all the time? Unfortunately, yes. We have a lot of very unstable parents out there. But if you're an adult child, right? You're an adult daughter or son, and you feel stuck in the middle, that is your choice to get out of that stuckness. You are not a victim of your circumstance. You are a co-creator. So you went into alignment with that being stuck. So in order to go out of alignment with that expression, you need to take an action to align to your heart, which means you're wrong, I believe in this, and this is my truth. Don't ask me to do this stuff anymore. And if you ask me, I'm going to point out each time that I'm not aligned to that. And you're not going to stay quiet, because staying quiet, this is a good point, Wendy. When people stay quiet and they shut down and they go into silence, silence is consent. And that's how consent gets usurped. So intent, consent, and authority is also a natural law. We're talking about the natural laws of structure, but that's also a natural law. And your natural laws can be taken over when we've seen it in ways in the public, when you don't understand what's happening. And this happens with the jab. I'm just going to use that term. And people don't read the inserts, and they don't understand the implications, or they're not told and given forthright information. That's how consent gets usurped. Same thing in stuck in the middle, especially with adults, and it grows up into adult children who go into silence as consent. And they don't have the courage to align with their heart, because what if this person gets mad at me? That's not your fault. If that person gets mad if your mom or dad gets mad at you for being in alignment with your truth, then so be it. Be in alignment with your truth rather than having them be nice to you and acquiescing your truth. It's never worth it. It will make you sick. When you acquiesce your truth, it's never worth it. Okay. Hi, Niall. It's good to see you. Hello, London. I'm just looking for questions. Okay, so Daniel says, being stuck in the middle sounds like you are too afraid of the consequences, agreed, of what would happen if you just said no or stood your ground. So try to appeal to the others to the detriment of self. Yes, it's putting others above yourself, but more importantly, it's a diminishment. This is the part, Daniel, that I really want to get across, is that when we feel stuck in the middle and we lack the courage to align with our truth, we create weaknesses in our field. Those weaknesses allow parasitic energies in. We don't want that. No, no, no. Those parasitic energies are very difficult to get rid of. Sorry, y'all. I was trying to go off of coffee, but I did good for a day and a half, and now I'm drinking my half a cup today. I got through half the day. So thank you, Daniel. Good point. I appreciate that. Just looking for questions about being stuck in the middle. Oh, no, Daniel, I got you. You're good. No, organized chaos. These comments are the parasites of the internet. Don't, just keep moving. I'm going to the questions that are relevant. And there's so many of them, you'd be surprised. Oops. Any questions? Wendy, did that help you? Okay, Ben is saying I make $106,000 a year and still can't move out of my parents' house. Housing is too expensive. That does not sound like the truth. It sounds, Ben, like Ben, you're not asking me a question here. But if you're making $106,000 a year, you are choosing to align to stay in your parents' house. You can move out. You're choosing not to move out. Housing is expensive, yes, but there are other ways in which you can navigate. Any questions? Wendy says, thank you for the clarification, your continued commitment with these various videos. Thank you. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate your appreciation. So I just want to say I'm really proud of all of you for wanting to align and to really be willing to see different aspects of the truth. Today's topic is being stuck in the middle. And I'm taking questions. And I talked about how being stuck in the middle is really just a misalignment with who you truly are. So you're not choosing to get out of that stuck in the middle because you haven't chosen to align with who you are. And that lack of courage, number two, is a misalignment with your heart. So you want to align to your heart. And then the other thing is many people just do not want to speak their truth to others because they fear, as Daniel was saying earlier, they fear the consequences. But the consequence of lack of your own personal integrity, the consequence of being oppressed and suppressed, the consequences of stifling your conscious growth, to me, nobody's opinion could matter that much. Like, why would you put somebody else's opinion or thoughts about something above that? That to me is a disconnection from God. That is a disconnection from source and creator. And we're here to align. We are here to serve our purpose, not the needs of our parents, not the needs of our relationship, not the needs of our boss. We are here to serve our purpose in alignment with creation. That requires courage. That doesn't come easy. Of course, it's not going to come easy. You have to align to it. And that means going out of your comfort zone. And when you go out of your comfort zone regularly enough, it'll be easier to align to things like speaking your truth. You know, and I had to really think before I got on here to do this topic, have I ever been stuck in the middle? And I really don't have a memory of that being an issue for me, because I've always been willing and okay with not fitting in. Like, fitting in was never something that was really important to me. Being aligned was always a priority. Being in my truth and having integrity was, ever since I was a little girl, it was always just really important to me. Spark plug. Would focusing on having opinions in life be useful to get out of the middle ground? Everybody has opinions, spark plug. So you don't want an opinion. Everybody's got opinions. What you want is a choice. Choosing a choice and moving in that direction. And if that's doesn't feel like the right direction, then you can make another choice. But it's better to make a choice than be stuck in the middle. So you have courage to make a conscious choice. I struggle to have opinions. You don't want opinions. You want a choice. Is that helpful, spark plug? A sparky plug, sorry. Okay, just looking for questions here. If Mel is here, Mel, I'm proud of you. Good job. How to handle bad times. Bad and good times are all perception. I would say, what are you learning from the experience that you're having? That will get you out of the judgment. Go into learning, and that will pull you right out of judgment. If you put the same comment in here multiple times, you're going to be deleted. Okay, no questions. Oh, Mel, Mel, you want to be a mod? Oh, no, you're saying thank you. Mel, I was just saying how proud I am of you. Did you hear it? This is all about being stuck in the middle from our conversation yesterday. I was very, very direct in the very beginning, Mel, so don't take it personally. Oh, this is a good point. I am not a therapist. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a doctor. I do energy psychology consulting. That's what I do. I'm a consultant. So reworks, keep on moving. I think it's so interesting. I say this almost every time, this whole vegan thing. Y'all, why is that important? Why don't you ask me something that's more important than what I eat? Are you going to judge me for what I eat? Do appreciate that God has given you people that you truly understand. Okay. Will White is saying, there isn't anything that you want or makes you happy. What does that mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Daniel, I grew up in a strict household. It was like no matter what I did, nothing, I wasn't good enough. So good enough is a program that many of us were indoctrinated with, that we're not good enough, okay? So that's a program, Daniel. You didn't want to disobey your dad, but I also did not want to tell him how I felt out of fear of repercussions. Okay. But is that stuck in the middle? No, that's just, I mean, what you're saying, Daniel, that doesn't really seem like you're stuck in the middle. It sounds like you had an understanding of the rules of the household. And rules of the house you were living by until you got old enough to get out of it. But what your understanding is, and that's what I'm getting from your message here, is that you understand the indoctrination of not good enough. And you must understand that's a program, and that is not a program from your parents. That is like a program of the society and the environment that most of us have been indoctrinated with. And it's our responsibility to create and cultivate a relationship within ourselves with our Creator, with Source Energy, with God, to understand that we can rewrite the instruction set in which we have been given. Meaning you can override it with your personal power when you are connected. When you're not connected, it's really, you can't change the structures, because the structures of energy do not change from the mind. They change from a connection to hold higher levels of consciousness, if that makes sense. WWE. Very sweet of you. I love to laugh. Mel said, yes, I had a very good night, and me and my hubby talked about this last night. Oh, good. Oh my gosh, I love that, Mel. Congratulations. That's beautiful. I'm so glad that these videos, and that's really what I think is so cool, is that, we create ripples and everything we do. And, just as simple as doing a YouTube video where we connect in this meaningful ways. And then you go and you talk to your husband, you share your insights and your wisdom and your vulnerabilities, which are a beautiful way to connect with your husband. And then that makes you two have a heart connection, and that makes you better parents. And that's awesome. And you feel better, and you have more energy. Amen to that. Good job. Oh, I didn't see your question. Where am I from? California. No, Steven, go somewhere else. That is not that kind of channel here. Sparky, plug. Yes, it does help when you put it that way. I guess I'm taking a choice defines the position you take, because it's an action rather than an opinion or a lack of one, which is just a thought, not a decision. Correct. Spark plug. Thinking your way through things that's not an action. Making a decision is an action. And then making choices and actions in alignment with that. So let's just say you decide, you know what? I'm okay with my mom being mad at me. Or I'm okay with my dad being mad at me. I'm just going to tell them, this is not okay with me anymore. Period. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to talk about that. Let's move on. And they say, okay, or if they say, okay, but one more thing. Click, done, conversation over. That's how I would handle. That's what Kiannaa would do. Now, I usually tell people how long they have before I hang up, but luckily I don't get myself in those situations. People know I don't like to talk about gossip. Oh, Will Wright is asking, what does it mean if you don't have any desires, wants, or cares for anything? You just do things as society says that people should do. What does that mean? It means you're a slave. That's what that means. If I'm to be honest, and you ask me my opinion, that's what that means. When you are not connected to your purpose, when you are not connected to your desires, when you're not connected to caring, empathy, kindness, oneness, you're not connected, you've been enslaved by a demonic culture. That's what that is. If you don't want to be enslaved to that, you have to make a conscious choice to get in connection. And I would say come here every day. We're getting connected every day in different ways about how to connect within, how to align within to your heart, your mind, your body, your soul, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. That's what this channel is about. Oh, MSK. I did Tommy on the video yesterday. Yesterday's video was about resistance. I walked Tommy through exactly how to stop his desire to smoke marijuana, that is, And you could take exactly what I did with Tommy on the video yesterday, where we connected to his belief, and that should help you. But quitting the habit of smoking isn't just about smoking, it's about behavior. You have to really want to quit. Like I worked with this one rock and roll band guy. He was a drummer in a band, and he wanted to quit smoking. And so I helped him quit smoking, and then he decided, maybe I don't really want to quit totally and completely, because he didn't know what to do with himself. He was bored. He was so used to his smoke breaks and it was so out of habit. So he didn't have the desire to smoke anymore. That was gone. But he did not have anything in place to shift his behaviors. So he ended up going back to smoking, but not as much. So he smokes maybe a quarter of what he used to, but that's out of conscious choice now, not out of a lack of addiction. It's not out of addiction. So go check that out yesterday. And when you hear me talking about Tommy, it's Tommy that I did that exercise with, but everything is connected to a belief system, a belief. Mel, I actually stopped and listened to my dad instead of thinking. He says this all the time. Oh, Mel, good job. You know what? There will be a time, I promise you this, when you look back and you're going to remember those moments where you were absolutely present in your heart. And now I'm going to cry. That is when you will remember about your caretaking of your dad. It's not going to be all the drudgery. It's going to be those moments that you did that and you really were present, because that's when you were healing those timelines with your dad. Although he was talking about those things, you are actually, when you're present in your heart, you're actually healing timelines. You can't heal timelines in your head. You can only heal them through your heart. So beautiful. I love that, Mel. I'm so glad. Thank you for sharing, Mel, and thanks for being here. Parents make a choice with what they indoctrinate their children with. A lot of that's passed down, but okay. People need to take responsibility for their behavior. Yes, we are all co-creators. So I do agree, Badger. Yes, parents are often very unconscious, okay? The layers of energy are becoming so much thinner than they were back, 50 years ago, okay? So the energy now is very different than it was 50 years ago. So I don't think most parents were conscious back in the day. Even my mom, who I, think very highly of, she wasn't conscious. It hurt her to become conscious, and a lot of people who are conscious they know that pain is part of the awakening process, but a lot of people don't realize that when we've been indoctrinated and we have been programmed and we've been conditioned, that when you peel those layers away, that's the illusion that's coming down. That's the awakening process. To see that people are the way they are, which is different than what you thought, that's the illusion. That's the pain of awakening. It's needed, and it doesn't have to be as painful as it has been, but it often is. Okay, Will, I'm glad that was helpful for you. Thank you. What do I believe? I believe in the natural laws. I believe in oneness. I believe in God, creator, source, energy. I believe in a lot of things. Does that help you? MSK, yes. Let me know how it helps you. And if you need help, just put a comment and I'll help you. You're not alone. There's a lot of people trying to stop smoking. Salvo, hey, good to see you again. I love seeing the regulars back. Hey, Mel's saying hello to you. It's so good to see you both here. All right, I've gone through all the questions. So the topic was being stuck in the middle. And it really is about aligning to the heart. So questions, any questions you have about being stuck in the middle, I'm willing to take them. Otherwise, we can make this a short video. So we know we can get out of being stuck by aligning to the truth of who we are. We know that we can have courage when we connect to our heart. So we have to have the courage to speak our truth in alignment with the heart. We know that our voice has power. So when we speak, we empower ourselves. We give our voice choice and freedom. And that has a frequency with it. Thank you, Oliver. Any questions? If not, it's okay. I'm good, thank you. Am I a psychic? I don't really have that as one of my shingles, but I certainly have some intuitive powers. That's not something I advertise, but yes, to an extent. But if you're asking me if I do tarot reading, no. If you're going to ask me to talk to your grandmother, no. No questions? So the law of structure is basically saying that these aspects of being stuck in the middle, if you do not get yourself out of it, you will create an ingrown, hey Matt, it will create an ingrained structure within your physical energy field. Tarot cards are just as good as the reader. So it's all about interpretation. But everything is based on in that moment. So you could change anything in that moment. I remember many years ago when I went to a psychic or a reader, and I said, do you see my business? Do you see my company? And she said, no, I don't see anything. I was like, I got so mad. I was like, what? That's such bullshit. Excuse my language. And so it made me really create the energy to create my business. So we can recreate based on acknowledging what is. And if it's not there in the physical, if it's not even there in your energy field, you have to give it more energy. Salvo says he did some overtime. And then you're coming on here. Thanks, Salvo. MSK, I'm from California. Daniel, getting out of being stuck in the middle is to make a definitive choice then. Yes, make a choice, Daniel. That will get you out of the middle immediately. Sometimes it can be hard when there are consequences and tied to doing things. There's no consequence that is going to be worth you being misaligned. Do you see? Your alignment is what creates the next experience and the one after that. Everything is created from the present moment. So if you are misaligned now, you're just going to recreate the same situation over and over again. You don't want to create a stagnant or stasis in your energy field. Does that help you, Daniel? Mel is saying, I'll definitely catch the replay. Oh, good. I'm so happy to hear that. I love seeing you in the replay too. It makes my heart happy. Thank you, Mel. You took it as a challenge and manifested. Perfect stranger, hello. how to have one session. Go to Kiannaa.com, Kiannaa.com. Salvo is saying, Kiannaa, one more A on there. You almost got it, Salvo. I thought about you yesterday when I was talking to my friend. He seems kind of lost, and I was talking to him about spiritual alignment, and I think he really appreciated it. Beautiful, Salvo. You know, sometimes when we're just speaking to people from our heart, it can change the whole thing. A lot of people don't understand their spiritual aspects because they haven't been taught, period. Sandeep is saying, I feel like praying and meditating for peace, but I'm not able to pray or sit. Do I have the willpower for other work, but not meditation? What can I do? You could do walking prayers. You could do prayer anytime, anywhere. You don't have to sit still. That's the dogma of meditation, people teaching, is that you have to do it in any prescriptive ways. You don't have to have a certain way to pray to connect with God or creation. You can do it anywhere, anytime, anyhow. I mean, I like making my smoothies and being in prayer. And I like looking at the leaves of my my vegetables, and I think, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing vegetable, what it does. It's so incredible. And I sit there and I talk to my smoothie. And it makes me happy. Zello Senjen. Thank you. Zello Zenjen. Did I say it right? I used to focus on breath, but now I can't do that. If you're having a very difficult time focusing, my guess is that you have some, I'm just going to say it, you have some energies that are nefarious in your field, and I would do like a cleansing of some type, and I would command your field to be in alignment with the cosmic sovereign law of one. Okay, Sandeep, try that and see how that feels. Charles Crane is saying you have to be selective over who and what you let into your life because it determines the outcome of your future. Certainly discernment is definitely indeed something that we all need to practice. I know I spent a full year on the concept of discernment, and I don't recommend it. I got a lot of very difficult, challenging lessons that year, but I learned a lot about discernment, and I learned a lot about misalignment. And I think most people, I don't think it's about being selective as much as it's about being aware of what's in alignment, Charles, because what I think, at least what I practice, is to be in alignment with my values. And there's often times where people will come into our lives that they're really not in alignment with our values. That doesn't mean that they have to have the same values as you. I'm not saying that. But they need to be in alignment with how you want to live, right? You don't want people in your life that are going to go against that. And there are people that will go against it. Gossiping is a big one. Like, there are people that will just gossip about other people, and they don't think it's a big deal. It is a big deal. It erodes your integrity. I had a friend the other day tell me very personal things about another friend, of which I never would have wanted to know, because she felt that she could tell me because I wouldn't know her friend. It's just crazy. Yeah, this is a big cup of coffee. You missed it when I said I was cutting down on my coffee, but I didn't have any coffee yesterday. Thanks, Alan. Hello, Iraq. Okay, y'all, any questions? I don't want to linger here. Where did you get those concepts of energy field from? Honestly, Daniel, the way I got my concepts and my learning about energy was not in a very easy way. It was from having to learn because if you go watch my video on manipulation, I have 2 videos on manipulation, and that's how I learned about energy, is because I was very manipulated. And once you start to understand your connections, then you can realign. So that's how I learned. I am self-taught. Didn't go to any classes for what I do. I have had to learn on my own and piece things together organically or as I was guided. Are there books about energy? There are tons of books out there on energy. None that I definitely... Is there any books on energy I would recommend? I don't have any one book that I would recommend. Let me see. I think what's most important is to understand that your conscious choice is going to increase with your ability to become aware. So, Daniel, I would look at becoming more aware of your patterns. Are there books that would help with that? Yes. One is a workbook that I've talked about, which is, what is it called? Keeping the Love You Find by Harville Hendrix. I recommend that book pretty routinely because that will show you the patterns and what you're holding based on how you see relationships. And everything is relationship, by the way. So this is not necessary, although the context of which the book is written is around love relationships, this is just really going to show you your patterns. You must do the whole workbook though. If you just do part of it, you're not going to really learn anything. So either go all in or don't do it at all. Don't just read that book to read it. Another book that will show you patterns that I would recommend. The 4 Agreements is a good book to read. That will help you align consciously to your awareness. And what I would recommend is taking one agreement for 1 week and focusing totally, fully, and completely to that one agreement. So no gossiping, for example, because you want your awareness to really become attuned to those aspects that pull you away from your alignment, okay? Honoring your word. That would be the next week. So like pick one agreement and do it for the entire month. So there's 4 agreements, 4 weeks in a month, and then see what your awareness is about that. So Daniel, that would be the 2 books that I'd recommend, and let me know what you think of those if you go and look at them. And if you decide to, if there's enough people in this chat or that watch these videos that want to read a book and do a book chapter, I would be down to do something like that. I would love that. But there must be at least, a handful of people that would be wanting to do that. And then we could take a day, a week to do that until the end of the year. Charles is saying we all have energy. We all do, yes. And a ruthless rhythm. I don't know about ruthless, but does that mean infinite? Frequency and vibration. That's why you need to be careful when speaking things into existence. True, but one of the things that I was talking to a client about today was really like their preferences and how they're resonating. When those are incongruent, that's very hard to reconcile from the mind. So you need to get aligned. You want your resonance to be in alignment with your thoughts. Okay, well, I think that's good for today. I think we'll close it out today. My name is Kiannaa Sadge. I don't see any other questions. Yes, Daniel, you're a psychiatrist to get different points of view. Yeah, psychiatrists always want a book. What I offer, Daniel, is experience. So if you want to have an experience, you could look at Kiannaa.com, because our experience will change our cellular memory and align us differently than a book ever could. But I'm so glad that you're here, Daniel, and I thank you for your participation and your contributions and your questions. My name is Kiannaa Sadge. I'm here every day this year doing this series called Being in Sync 366 because it's a leap year and every day is a different topic. So if you have a topic that you want me to cover, please let me know. I try to come on here sometime in between 12 and 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. What else do you need to know? Oh yes, if you just are new here and you don't know, put your notifications on so you get notified when I come on live, because the times do change. If somebody hasn't told you today, I just want you to know I'm proud of you. You're here, you're living, you're alive, you're working to being in sync and being in alignment. That takes courage. Don't be afraid to align to your personal truths, knowing that all of your alignment influences everyone around you. Somebody's asking if I believe in God. 1,000,000% I believe in God, God consciousness, Christ consciousness, unity consciousness. We are all in this together. So, thank you so much for being here. You all have a great day. Take care. Bye.